Good evening and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I am Ronke Kolawole. A robust program of cooperation and collaboration is being worked between the federal and state governments towards confronting headlong the various challenges of security bedeviling the country for sustainable peace and socio-economic development. This formed the highlights of a crucial meeting on security between President Muhammadu Buhari and governors of the 36 states. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
This is the first formal engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and all the state governors since the beginning of the Next Level agenda. At the heart of their discussions was security, which undoubtedly remains an issue of serious concern to both the government and the governed. During the closed-door meeting, also attended by the service chiefs, the Inspector General of Police, and heads of other security agencies, the president was brought up to speed by the governors on the enormity of the prevailing challenges. Most importantly, the concerns of the Nigerian people as regards rural banditry, farmers-herders clashes, kidnapping, militancy in the Niger Delta, terrorism and insurgency, as well as cultism were thoroughly analyzed and areas of collaboration fashioned out on the best way forward.
And of course, Mr. President made it clear to us that we all knew he campaigned on the basis of security, economy, and accountability, and that these things are still the most germane issues on his agenda, and he will work with us to address questions of intelligence, of broadening community policing, of ensuring inter-service coordination among the various security agencies, strengthening the criminal justice system, of working with our states innovatively on mechanisms for addressing these issues.
Participants made suggestions for, amongst others, a special public-private security trust fund towards increasing the resources available to security institutions for effective service delivery. Consequently, the governors agreed to hold an extraordinary meeting of the National Economic Council to comprehensively address this and other related issues.
This is to tease out specifically quick wins and quick responses that can reassure and build the level of confidence of our own citizens. Because even in areas where significant progress has been made, the stabilization activities that must continue is critical to eventual resolution of these challenges. Rehabilitation, resettlement, and all those elements of stabilization activities must be brought to bear in order for us to have sustained peace over the long term.
The meeting also provided the opportunity for the governors to once again thank President Muhammadu Buhari for his magnanimity in providing at various times multiple financial support and other special interventions to the states, without which they say the security situation could have been worse. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, further stringent measures may soon be taken to rid Zamfara state of bandits terrorizing the state and its environs. Governor of the state, Bello Muhammad Mutawale, met with President Muhammadu Buhari late Thursday night to brief the president of the security situation in the state. The president, as he says, has promised to take immediate action with the assurance that all will be well.
Well, it's a very troubled situation, but with our emergence, things will be better very soon, and with the measures that we have taken with the security, it will be subsidized very soon, inshallah.
Suspension of the Emir of Maru, the governor says the action had to be taken to pave way for a thorough investigation into several petitions against him bordering on security issues. The success or otherwise of any parliament is greatly influenced by its leadership, and that is why the election of presiding officers of the 9th National Assembly is being taken seriously by members-elect. In view of this, one of the candidates vying for the position of the 9th Senate, Ahmad Lawan, at a forum of senators-elect, made public his mission and vision for the new Senate. Ignatius Nko has details.
This meeting once again provided opportunity for incoming senators to interact with old tenants. Senator Ahmed Lawan at this meeting presented his agenda for the 9th Senate if elected president of the 9th Senate. He listed security, improving the economy, anti-corruption, improved health and educational sectors as some of his major areas of intervention as captured in the 20-page booklet.
So we have to work with the executive to ensure that we provide the legislative intervention. Part of it will be budgeting in time to have a very predictable budget cycle.
To make sure that we rise above the challenges that we have met on the ground.
To use the legislature to better Nigeria.
The senators shared in the vision of the candidate.
And we expect to perform optimally because the cooperation and the cohesion is already here, and we expect it to continue.
Is someone that is well experienced in the art of legislation. So it's a sign of a good thing to come.
A patriotic leader, a leader who is determined to move the country forward. We have no doubt in his ability.
But if we are united Nigerians, we should work as a team, we should work as brothers, we should work for the interests of Nigeria.
Senator Ahmed Lawan described his endorsement by Senator Danjuma Goje as a show of solidarity and selflessness. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nko, NTA News.
The National Assembly in the last 20 years of Nigeria's democracy has been given a pass mark. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria noted that though the 8th National Assembly may not have a 100% scorecard, the legislature, however, must be commended in the sustenance of democracy.
While citing a few bottlenecks encountered in the process of lawmaking, guests on Good Morning Nigeria noted that the 8th National Assembly has indeed recorded an enviable level of milestones.
The 8th Assembly was able to do constitutional alteration. At least now, we have altered the Constitution. We have been able to bring in the not too young to run bill. Look at even the minimum wage that people talked about. The proposal from the executive is 27,000. It is the National Assembly that opted to 30,000.
There are places where, for example, there is this deep-rooted zoning. Somebody will tell you, I can't go for more than 2 terms. Some people is even 1 term. There are constituencies that is only 1 term. Nobody has ever gone 2. So these are also nuances that we must, take note of as a critical challenge for this particular institution.
They recommended better synergy of both the legislature and executive, which they say will always help in the speedy passage and implementation of the national budget.
I think the major problem is the fact that the executive doesn't sit with the legislature before bringing this bill to the National Assembly.
Some directors are powerful enough to commandeer projects to their own localities. And, senators were empowered, elected to deliver democracy dividends to their constituents are left dry and high. That should not be so. But it should not also be so that senators and members of the House of Reps should insist on having projects that are better, within the purview of local councils and state governments to insist on such projects being on the national budget.
The guests agreed that though the legislature is largely misunderstood, Nigerians should keep faith with the legislature and their resolve to providing a better democracy. In Abuja, Daniel Adiriye, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the People's Democratic Party's Governors Forum has condemned in very strong terms the alleged diversion of local governments, declaring support for the new guideline by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU. This was part of the resolutions reached at the end of the forum's meeting held in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The meeting held at the Bayelsa Governor's Lodge in Abuja ended with an 8-point communique, which includes declaration of support for the establishment of state police as a response to the fight against insecurity in the country, readiness to pay the new minimum wage to workers, and the call for review of the constitution to accommodate a fresh revenue formula in the country.
We, as governors of the PDP, want to make it clear that no PDP governor, no governor elected under the platform of our party, is involved in this allegation of diverting local government funds.
The forum also commended the judiciary for exhibiting what it described as uncommon courage and professionalism in the discharge of its responsibilities. The President of the 8th Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, Speaker of the 8th House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, and PDP National Chairman Uche Secondus attended the meeting. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Preparations have heightened ahead of the June 12 Democracy Day celebrations in Abuja. Anthony Fosun reports that chairman of the main organizing committee and secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, alongside chairman publicity subcommittee Lai Mohammed, were at the Eagle Square to assess the level of preparedness for the grand occasion.
Thursday's early morning rain did not hamper the process of the preparation as the bandmen took space here and reeled out their tunes unhindered. While chairman of the publicity subcommittee, Lai Mohammed, went round the arena. And eventually, when the rain was over, the true color of the rehearsal was unveiled. Then came chairman of the main organizing committee alongside Lai Mohammed and former Minister of Education, Malam Adamu Adamu. They took time to ask questions, just as the Commander Brigade of Guards, Brigadier General Umar Musa, explained to them the level of readiness and what to expect. In the end, Boss Mustafa spoke to newsmen.
So far, the preparations are going on very well. We are confident that we'll be able to put up an act that is befitting the celebration of our new National Day, Democracy Day. It's going to be an interplay of our culture with military parade, and eventually the climax will be the new Democracy Day broadcast by the President. And I believe that Nigerians are expectant and they will not be disappointed.
June 12 as Democracy Day will be celebrated for the first time come Wednesday in Abuja. Anthony Fosun, NTA News.
Jennifer has the next set of stories in Lagos studio. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Ronke, and welcome to Lagos. Empathy towards the citizenry has been singled out as a major prerequisite for good leadership. Young entrepreneurs at a one-day summit organized by the John Maxwell Leadership Training in Lagos were guided by resource persons on how to imbibe this trait. Tunde Saiki reports.
One of the basic leadership shortcomings in the society experts identify is the tendency of not always identifying with the challenges of the people. This oversight often leads to underperformance in governance. In order to manage or avoid this scenario, Leaders must become emphatic by engaging subordinates on a regular basis on ways to connect with citizens towards development.
We want leaders who can listen to their employees, to their friends, to their peers, to their parents, and to those who are around them, to be able to ask good questions, to be able to listen to them, show compassion.
We need to train ourselves and say, look, stop losing your cool at everything. Calm down and then do what you have to do.
Some participants noted that the training has further exposed them to more knowledge on how to be good leaders and problem solvers.
The image of my organization has a lot to do with me, with my person, with my image. Because when people see me, they are seeing so many things about the organization.
To develop the leadership skill in me and also make impact in my generation.
Organizers of the training session say the idea is to make leaders understand what influential leadership is all about.
Leadership is all about attitude of the people. Now, attitude, you don't teach people the right attitude. You influence people to do the right thing.
The John Maxwell Leadership Training aims to hone the leadership skills of participants. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
Now, food manufacturers and consumers have been charged to take precautionary measures in the storage, packaging and consumption of foods in order to reduce the occurrences of diseases or even death. This was the recommendation of food safety experts at the 2019 World Food Safety Day in Lagos. Imoleayo Tukede has details.
The World Health Organization estimates that there are about 600 million reported cases of foodborne diseases annually. Of that figure, 40% of children under the age of 5. In that report, over 125,000 deaths are reported annually. And in Nigeria, men and women, young and old, die daily as a result of unsafe and contaminated food. Experts at this summit trace the causes of illnesses and death to use of artificial agents such as calcium carbide, use of unapproved insecticides like sniper for preservation of grains, as well as storing of grains in contaminated containers with hazardous chemicals which have all become common across the country.
There is public ignorance. We need to spend massively on creating the levels of awareness that will reduce the risk in the environment.
NAFDAC says it is leaving no stone unturned in ensuring that food consumed by Nigerians meets national and international standards.
It's really a complicated process, that includes us digging really deep into the entire process of producing any food item.
Speakers at this forum insist that from farm to table, everyone must imbibe food safety habits in order to reduce the burden of foodborne disease.
If you stay healthy by eating food that is not contaminated, then you are assured that you have, a good lifespan.
The theme for this maiden World Food Safety Day is Food Safety, Everyone's Business. In Lagos, Imoleayo Tukede, NTA News.
Thank you, Tukede. Now that's a contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues in Abuja after the break.
The general public is hereby invited to the unveiling ceremony of a historical exhibition in pictures, arts and immersive environment as part of activities lined up to mark the 2019 Democracy Day commemoration. The exhibition with the theme Unbroken Democracy is scheduled to take place as follows. Date 7th June 2019. Venue International Conference Center, ICC. Time 4:30 p.m. Please note, the exhibition will remain open to the public until June 12, 2019. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, announcer.
Television studio lighting requires skills which can only be acquired through professional training. NTA TV College JOS therefore invites engineers and technical officers in public and private television stations to a special 4-week course on television studio lighting. Date 10th June to 5th July 2019. Course fee 100,000 naira only per participant. Accommodation fees inclusive. Venue NTA TV College, Rayfield, JOS. The course will expose participants to modern techniques and technologies of television studio lighting, operation of studio lighting equipment, and the profound effect of lighting on television broadcast. For more enquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
The Subcommittee on the First Lady's activities for June 12, 2019 Democracy Day celebration hereby announces the programs to be hosted by Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, wife of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, to mark the occasion. Secondary school exhibition and panel discussion and oratorical contest. Date, Monday 10th June 2019. Venue, International Conference Center, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. These programs are strictly by invitation. Hajia Maria A.D. Rufai, Secretary, Subcommittee on First Ladies' Activities for June 12, 2019 Democracy Day celebration. Announcer.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
One Football Confederation, 24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hotsports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Nigeria's premier sports production and marketing group, Hotsports, partners with the biggest, the largest, and the #1 television network in Africa, the NTA, to give Nigerians a memorable viewing experience. Boost fan support for the Super Eagles to glory in Egypt. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
We are glad you stayed. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to issue certificates of return to the former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, as the senator-elect representing Imo West Senatorial District. Justice Okon Aban gave the order while delivering judgment in a suit filed by the former governor challenging the electoral umpire's decision to withhold his certificate of return, having been declared winner of the February 23 National Assembly elections by the returning officer. Justice Aban held that once a candidate has been declared a winner by the returning officer, INEC is not empowered in law to withhold the candidate's certificate of return. The judge also awarded the cost of 100,000 naira to be paid by some of the defendants, while INEC is to pay 200,000 naira to Rochas Okorocha.
Appeal the judgment that is obviously biased from content, a judgment that from the lips of the judge himself reading the judgment, you will understand that this judgment is very highly compromised. The 6 defendants, we are going on appeal to appeal the judgment. The ab initio will not object to the jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter. And of course, when you listen to the judgment, he puzzled everything up. He couldn't distinguish between the second and third defendant who objected to the jurisdiction and that of the sixth defendant who did not object to the jurisdiction.
This is sad, a very sad day in this country, but I'm happy that the judge knows that he doesn't have the last say. And look at the last comment, that we should pay 100,000 to the plaintiff when he knows that we will never see the plaintiff in order to forestall appeal. That is a wrong judgment, but God will yes speak because God has the last say. Trust me on this.
This is a novelty. Justice has been done. Nigerian electoral, legal, and judicial process has been reset. Justice Abang has done judgment today.
In the same vein, the Federal High Court has ordered status quo on the withdrawal of the operating license of AIT over alleged breach of broadcasting code. Justice Inyang Eko gave the order this Friday in an ex parte application brought by AIT counsel Mike Ezekume, senior advocate of Nigeria. Justice Eko also ordered the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, the Attorney General of the Federation, to appear on Thursday, June 13, to show cause why the motion on notice challenging the action of the regulatory agency should not be granted. Counsel to AIT, Mike Ezekume, in ex parte application asked the court to order status quo ante pending the determination of the main suit. The NBC, in a letter dated May 27, 2019, accused Dar of breaching the Nigeria's broadcasting code with his Kakaki and other programs and subsequently withdrew his license. In the suit against the NBC, the Federal Minister of Information and Culture, and the Attorney General of the Federation, AIT claimed that it has, since the license of its television and radio stations, been conducting its operations in line with Section 22 of the 1999 Constitution. In the light of this, it asked the court to make an order restraining the defendants from blocking, jamming, stopping, removing from air, and interfering with his airwaves. Let's go straight to Benin, where Agatha is standing by with more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Agatha.
Okay, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Benin. The governments of Edo and Delta states have agreed to strengthen economic ties with particular focus on security and power generation. This is the outcome of the meeting between Governors Godwin Obaseki and Ifeanyi Okowa at the Government House at Sabah. Goodluck Inaini reports.
Governor Obaseki and his Delta State counterparts are working out strategies to make both states an economic powerhouse in Nigeria by exploring the opportunities that abound in the two states. One other decision taken by the governors is to work with the government of Ondo and Ekiti states, who are also shareholders in the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, to ensure power availability. The meeting also called for the inauguration of the Advisory Committee of Governors for Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, to ensure an improvement in the governance of the agency.
The SFGs of both states will work closely over the next few weeks to come up with a working agenda.
Governor Okowa, who describes the idea as laudable, believes that it will help to address greater economic issues.
Now we are going to actually urge our deputy governors to quickly fast-track the processes because they are in charge of the boundary committees of both states.
The governors also agreed to highlight some of the concerned areas on security matters affecting both states at a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari from Asaba. Good luck, Inaini, NTA News.
Religious leaders have been tasked to intensify efforts at sustenance of religious harmony and entrenchment of an enduring peace in Ondo State and the country in general. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu was speaking at the inauguration of new members of the Nigeria Interreligious Council, Ondo State Chapter. Olubukola Aduwo reports.
Addressing the 16 leaders of both the Muslim and Christian faith, Mr. Akeredolu tasked them to boost religious values between the people and governments. The governor, who emphasized that the body is a great weapon in the end of government in the continuous promotion of the two major religions, urged the leaders to always give support to the vulnerable in the state as part of their mandate.
Also entrenched that start to entrenched cordial relationship between religious group and the government. The government wants to live in peace with every religious group.
The religious leaders pledged their readiness to support government in sustaining peace in the state.
In the two bodies, both Muslim and Christian, to see for their affairs, to control the situation among the Christians, and to make sure we lead our people so that they will know the meaning of peace.
We are going to work according to the will of God to make sure that we move this state forward.
The Nigeria Inter-Religious Council, established by the federal government 20 years ago, was inculcated in various states of the Federation to help in entrenching religious understanding and peace in the society. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
And to legislative matters now, Edo State 6th Assembly held its last plenary session, with members recounting their experiences and achievements in the last 4 years.
The tenure of the 6th Assembly terminates 12 midnight this Friday, the 7th of June 2019. The valedictory session by the lawmakers is to officially bring the Assembly to a close. The Speaker, Ajoto Kebiru, gave each of the 24 lawmakers the opportunity to speak on their experiences as representatives of their various constituencies. The Speaker's valedictory speech scored the performance of the 6th Assembly high, attributing this to the over 70 bills passed into law and the over 190 people-oriented motions addressed.
The state passed the state's annual budget for the period under review on record time, before December of every year.
The 6th Assembly comprises of 23 males and 1 female. With the end of this assembly, the House will not have a female representative.
It's very sad that there will be no woman in the next assembly. Very, very sad indeed. But that's a clarion call for all women to come together, work together, and with that we can be more productive.
Out of the 24 lawmakers in the 6th Assembly, only 9 have been re-elected as members in the 7th Assembly.
In Benin, Obahi Otoba Presai, NTA News.
And the Esogba of Benin Kingdom, Chief David Edebi, wants the federal government to immortalize the late Chief Anthony Enahuru, who was at the forefront of Nigeria's struggle for independence. He said this at a press conference in Benin. Bukola Rubusi reports.
Chief Edebi used the medium to congratulate President Muhammadu Buhari for the success of the 2019 general elections, his victory at the polls, and a successful inauguration.
President Muhammadu Buhari has shown that he is not just a patriotic Nigerian, but a nationalist to the core.
He also noted that the immortalization of late Chief Enahoro is long overdue.
We believe that Chief Anthony Enahoro is eminently qualified for a posthumous honor, commensurate with his selfless and patriotic services to the country.
Late Chief Anthony Enahoro was a journalist, politician, and eminent nationalist fighter who became the first to move the motion for Nigeria's independence in 1953, which was eventually granted in 1960 after several political setbacks and defeat in parliament. The event was organized by Castle of Legend Initiative, chaired by the Esogba of Benin, Chief David Edebi. They are charged with the aim of promoting and encouraging acts of heroism and patriotism. In Benin, Bukola Urubusi, NTA News.
And that ends our package. Ronke, you're on.
Thank you, Agatha. The Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Garuba Shehu, has reacted to articles in 2 business magazines, The Financial Times and The Economist, which it says paints Nigeria in a negative economic light. Garuba Shehu aired his opinion in a post shared via social media, saying both articles were poorly researched and relied on outdated statistics regarding rice production and dependence on crude oil, especially now that Nigeria has risen to 24th position in the Ease of Doing Business Index and ranks one of the top 10 global performers as of 2018. He further stated that the articles are also full of contradictions, which do little to boost the country's image. For instance, the Financial Times declares that President Buhari has failed to spur rice growing while the economics talks about overdependence on oil, yet criticizes policies such as financial incentives, which allow business competition and diversification. It laments power shortfalls, yet attacks Aliko Dangote, the man building the world's largest oil refinery located in Nigeria, as well as accusing President Buhari of making a bad situation worse. Grabashew says the correspondents have therefore failed to appreciate context and the country's complexity as the many factors which led to the economic recession, coupled with the global commodity crash, were inevitable. Malam Shehu says government has, however, taken stringent measures to redress the weaknesses in the Nigerian economy, such as spending record figures on infrastructure and capital expenditure at 30% of the budget, as opposed to 10% in 2015. Two suspects in connection with the murder of the bursar of Ondo Anglican Diocese, Gabriel Abiodun, have been paraded in Akure by the State Police Command. The Commissioner of Police, while parading the suspects, restated the command's commitment to tackling criminality. Kemi Ademola reports.
According to the Commissioner, the arrest of the suspected criminals was made possible through the cooperation of members of the public and intelligence gathering. The two suspects are Martins Adetoye, an herbalist, and Lawrence Adebayo. Also paraded are two security guards who allegedly abducted and murdered their boss and his daughter at Akiton Estate, Akure.
It was under the influence that it warranted them to kill the man.
The command wishes to reassure members of the public of its resolve to rid the state of all forms of heinous crimes. In doing this, the command does not and will not deal with acts of criminality on the basis of tribe, religion, or gender.
Items recovered from the suspects are a Toyota Camry, a Sienna bus, laptops, and set with other valuables. From Akure, Oluwakemi Ademola, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian army is deploying more troops and equipment to step up internal security operations in the northwest. What is the impact of this development on the socio-economic activities in the region? Defense correspondent Ismail Musa, who accompanied the Chief of Training and Operations, Major General Lamidi Adeosun, to Zamfara and Katsina states, has the answer.
Socio-economic activities in parts of Zamfara, Katsina and Sokoto states paralyzed in recent times by bandits, kidnappers and cattle rustlers. These criminals invade towns and communities mostly on motorcycles, killing and displacing thousands of people. Though a Salah festival, the Chief of Training and Operations, Major General Lamidi Adeosun, is here to felicitate with troops, assess their disposition and operations.
We must be confident in ourselves. We must be confident in our weapons. The rifle must be serviceable at all times.
And you must get rid of these bad people rather than allowing them to come forward and get rid of the innocent Nigerians.
The representative of the Army Chief visited and appraised troop locations in Yergamji, Batsari, Kauranamuda, and Gusau Zurumi Jibia Road in Zamfara and Katsina states. These are Nigerian and Niger troops on a joint patrol on Nigerian and Niger border, one of the dangerous routes in this area. The deployment of troops have enhanced the resumption of socio-economic activities in most of our communities. We are pleased with the usual rapid response to threats by these soldiers. and we are grateful. Major General Adeosun also appealed to the people of the communities to provide credible information to security agencies to enhance rapid response. From Katsina, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In the meantime, Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri has reiterated commitment to end all security challenges in the state. This was when he hosted Hunters Association. Yusuf Jika tells us more.
Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri told the Hunters Association that the state is already working on security architecture to ensure provision of adequate security of life and property of the citizens. He warned groups and individuals against any security threat, as no security breach will be tolerated in the interest of peace of the state. Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, while commending the brevity of hunters in complementing the effort of security operatives, assured them of his support at all times.
Zona lafiya da makwabtanmu, mu kawo zaman lafiya kuma mu yi kiwon juna, mu ga cewa kowa ya barci da idanunsa biyu a rufe.
The Adamawa State Chairman, Hunters Association of Nigeria, Usman Muhammad Tola, promised to sustain its effort of providing security cover in the society. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
We now go on another commercial break. Just stay with us.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
Turn up to more music, comedy, dance, and more. The Republic, featuring an array of Nigeria's finest. One day called Rema, Psycho YP, Fireboy DML, oh baby, I'm getting jealous, don't wanna see Classic Tempo, and other surprise performances. Host Sheila and Jukes the General. Date June 9th, 2019. Venue International Conference Center, Abuja. Red carpet 4 p.m. Main show 6 p.m. For inquiries, call 081-0302-9457. The Republic, brought to you by Edgemax Media, supported by OSGF, Sosa, Vidi La Vida, Dre and iBlend, Moscow, Eventi, and Hennessy. The Republic, turn up!
This event is part of the activities lined up for the celebration of Democracy Day 2019.
NTA Television College Jos announces admissions into 2-year diploma programs in film and television production, television engineering, and broadcast journalism. The sale of forms will commence on the 13th of May and run through 30th July 2019. Admission forms can be obtained from all marketing offices, NTA state capital stations, zonal centers, or at the office of the academic secretary, NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos.
On payment of a non-refundable fee of 7,500 naira in bank draft in favor of NTA TV College. Applicants can also obtain the forms through the NTA TV College portal at www.ntatvc.edu.nj.
Applicants are required to possess 5 credits in GCE or SSCE in relevant areas of study in not more than 2 sittings, including English and mathematics. All properly completed forms attached with photocopies of credentials must be submitted on or before 30th July 2019. For further inquiries, please visit our website at ntatvc.com or call 0803 3144 383.
NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
Registrar, Announcer.
One Football Confederation, 24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hot Sports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Sokoto Network Center is next on our lineup, and already Nora is on a standby. Hello, Nora, it's over to you now.
Thank you, Ronke, and welcome to Sokoto. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol says a equitable formula for the nation's revenue sharing will enable state governments to implement new minimum wage and shoulder governance with ease. The governor made the assertion while receiving the state civil servants on Salah homage at Government House, Sokoto. Dalata Abdullahi has more.
The Committee for the Implementation of New National Minimum Wage would also capture all segments of the society, look at the real IGR, and determine what can possibly be done. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol said his administration will continue to work with the workforce to move the state forward.
We must discuss the new revenue sharing formula for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so that states can now and local governments can accommodate the exigencies of the demands of the people. Otherwise, it may become extremely difficult for us to implement some of these things.
Speaking on behalf of the civil servants, the state head of service, Dr. Buhari Bello Kwari, extolled the stable and compassionate qualities of the governor as a true democrat. Similarly, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol urged the local government's caretaker councils to actively engage traditional rulers in matters of security. In Sokoto, Dalhat Abdullahi, NTA News.
The Aliyu Maga Takada Free Legal Services Foundation has secured the release of 45 inmates. Muhammad Nasir completes the report.
The inmates were released from the Sokoto Central Prison and Remand Home following payment of their fines and compensations at various courts. The fines and compensations paid for each person ranges from 60,000 to 230,000 naira. The amount paid is worth millions of naira.
In part of the activities of the foundation is to secure release of some inmates who are languishing in prison custody due to their failure to either pay their debt, fine, or compensations imposed upon them by respective courts. The essence of this exercise is to decongest the prisons.
A legal expert and former chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Sokoto State Chapter, Barrister Lema Sambo Wali, lauded the foresight by the foundation as it helped in decongesting the prisons.
Nowadays, you find that when a person spends a long time in prison, he becomes a hardened criminal. So it is a good gesture that these boys, these young people are not allowed to remain in prison for long, such that they don't eventually end up being hardened criminals.
Some of the released inmates who were apprehended for different offenses expressed happiness with the gesture. They prayed Allah to reward the founder of the foundation abundantly. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto.
Thank you, Nora. We now go straight to United Kingdom, where British Prime Minister Theresa May will officially step down as the leader of the Conservative Party today, Friday, but remains Prime Minister until her successor is chosen. She announced her resignation 2 weeks ago, saying it was a matter of deep regret that she couldn't deliver Brexit. 11 Conservative MPs are vying to replace her as party leader and ultimately Prime Minister. Winner of the contest is expected to be announced in the week of 22 July. Mrs. May remains acting party leader during the leadership election process. And talking sports now, only players that are consistent